Landlord-tenant disputes are a reality in New York City, but lately they have been grabbing national headlines. From squatters in quiet neighborhoods to tenants refusing to pay rent for years, the situation has become a nightmare for small landlords. The process of evicting a tenant, as former Chief Judge Colleen McMahon of the Southern District of New York highlighted, is slow, cumbersome, and extremely tenant-favorable, especially compared to other states. The Kings County Housing Court in Brooklyn, often likened to Dante's Limbo, is a place where landlords and tenants wait endlessly for justice. Tenants, some facing legitimate hardship and others well-versed in exploiting the system, negotiate with landlords, often with the help of legal aid attorneys. Unfortunately for small landlords, these negotiations usually happen in a highly biased environment. Many of the housing court judges come from the ranks of legal aid attorneys, having spent years advocating for tenants. This creates an inherent conflict of interest, as these judges tend to favor tenants in court, making it even harder for small landlords to win cases. From the moment they step into the court, small landlords are treated poorly by court staff, including guards, secretaries, and clerks, who often seem oblivious to the fact that it's the landlord's taxes that fund their salaries. The dismissive and disrespectful treatment compounds the frustration, making an already grueling process even more difficult for property owners. Under the Universal Access to Counsel, or UAC program, tenants earning up to 200% of the federal poverty level have the right to an attorney in eviction cases. These tenant attorneys use procedural delays to drag cases out, forcing landlords to pay months or even years of unpaid rent, or in many cases, offer cash for keys just to regain control of their property. The 50 housing court judges in New York City are not constitutional judges, but lawyers approved by a housing court advisory council. Many of these judges were previously legal aid attorneys, which explains why landlords often feel they don't get a fair shot in court. Their 5-year renewable terms mean that these judges must keep tenant advocates happy to maintain their positions, further tilting the scales against landlords. On top of this, squatters have become a growing issue, adding insult to injury for property owners. From fake leases to illegal claims of ownership, squatters know how to manipulate the system to avoid removal. Police, untrained to handle civil disputes, are hesitant to arrest squatters or landlords, leaving landlords in a legal quagmire where even rightful property owners can end up being arrested for trying to reclaim their homes. The entire system, from biased judges to disrespectful court staff and the unending tenant-friendly legal proceedings, makes it clear that small landlords are fighting an uphill battle in New York's housing courts. Many leave the process financially drained, emotionally exhausted, and without the justice they deserve.